Welcome back. I'm Chad. We got ourselves another video. We got a video by Jubilee. Man named Michael Knowles. You know, he sat at the table. 25 people were around him. 25 LGBTQIA plus community people was around him.
I'm gay.
I'm a lesbian.
I am actually pansexual.
I am transgender.
I'm a bird.
And they did not like what he was saying. Like, they didn't like it at all. So we got two people that we're going to show him talk to. And both of these people were nuts. They were both nuts. When you hear the words that come out their mouth and you hear how, I can't explain it very well. That was just nuts. Y'all know I don't even do politics. I don't do politics, but guess what I do? I do rage. I do triggers.
I'm triggered. Bigot! Racist!
I do want everybody to know Jubilee is definitely gonna take my money because they never want to monetize. They never do it. So I'm gonna want y'all to send me $1. I want my $1 on CashApp. I'm watching y'all just hit the like button and watch the views and not send me my $1. Bet you send me my $1 if you found out I was just sitting underneath your bed at night. But hold up, just hitting this video, need you to hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit notification bell. In the comment section, give me a thumbs up or a heart. Just let me know that's real. But let's waste no more time. Let's roll the clip.
Oh, you know what that was? Oh, that doo-doo, baby.
My next claim is that transgenderism should be eradicated from public life entirely.
Hi.
Hello.
Blossom. She, her, hers powerhouse.
That's a huge
Blossom Powerhouse, lovely to meet you.
Yes.
What does that mean? Sure, powerhouse. What does that mean?
Go ahead. I want to know your ideology around transgenderism, something that doesn't exist. It just sounds more like conservative propaganda. So I kind of want to know a little bit more about what you're trying to communicate.
Okay, I think for all of history everywhere, people have understood the human person to have something to do with his body. So like your body has something to do with who you are. Now there is an alternative view, which is called Gnosticism. It's a view that our bodies don't really have anything to do with who we are, that the body is maybe even evil, and that our true selves have no connection to our bodies. And I see in the transgender ideology a kind of Gnosticism that says that you could look like a man, you could have a man's genetics, you could have a man's genitals, you could have a man's everything, but if you feel on some deep level that you're really a woman, then you are really a woman. And I don't think that's true, and I think that the social effects of that are really bad because it leads to the depriving women of their legitimate rights. In some cases it leads to rapes, notably in the last few years, and it also leads to women losing their sports competitions and their scholarships, and it's just disordered and false. And it also leads to more people adopting this identity, which leads to very high rates of anxiety, depression, and suicide. So it's bad for everyone, and it's not grounded in reality.
Oh, I don't even think you understand what you say sometimes. I don't think you even understand
exactly
what you say, because when we talk about these cases of women in the restroom, they're coming from cis men like you. So let's be very clear.
No, that's not true. In 2021,
do not interrupt a black
well, I'm just trying to correct you. Well, I would never interrupt a black woman.
No, thank you.
You made
Here's the thing.
How did you just come up there and you just lose your mind that fast? How did that happen? Who could say, please do not interrupt a black trans woman while they're speaking that many times without stumbling? She got the flow of T.I. That was wild how this person did that. This person, because you're trying real hard to dodge the YouTube mafia. They out here lurking, so I'm trying real hard to dodge. But I'm let you know right now, bro got problems, okay? That's all I can say right now. That was wild.
Think about me as a black trans woman. I am not a threat to cis women, and I think it is harmful that you are going around here spewing that rhetoric, weaponizing this rhetoric against trans people.
Weaponizing facts?
Transgenderism does not exist. We as trans people exist. We are 1% of the population, and there is a lot of power in the trans identity because you are sitting here spewing spewing something to me that doesn't really
I'm not
exist.
spewing anything. I'm just stating facts plainly.
I have lived experience. You don't, and you never will. But I do have a question.
I have
for
lived
you.
experience.
What if one of your
I'm alive.
What if one of your kids came out as trans? How would you
God
react to
forbid.
that?
I mean, I would obviously love my children, and I
Okay.
would try to do what's best for my children. And the best thing that I could do to be respectful and also to be conducive to their flourishing is to tell them the truth, which is that they're not really girls.
I would consider disowning them. I'm just letting you know right now. Get mad at me. Get mad at me. I would consider it. I would consider, hey, yo, I ain't putting up with that. I ain't putting up, hey, you. I didn't teach you this. I ain't teach you this. I don't know what got into you. It wasn't what I told you. You're gone. You're gone. I know some people might get triggered, but I don't care. We should bring it back.
Come on. I can't even imagine your relationship with your children. No shade. But
That's right. That's a great
I
relationship
just
with my
cannot even
children.
imagine that. But here's the reality.
definitely
We exist.
shade.
Again, people like you do not have the intellectual capacity to hold conversations like this because in a minute you're going to reduce this down to genitalia and then we're going to have to shift this somewhere else because obviously
No, in
people
a
like
minute-
you, that's where they go, right?
In a minute, what I'm going to do is correct something you said. When you said that
Go ahead.
the that have occurred in these bathrooms are cis men.
White cis men, I should say, actually.
Yeah, that isn't true. Loudoun County, 2021, the big case that actually ended up flipping the state was because there was a boy who wore a skirt, went into the girl's bathroom and raped a girl in a particularly hideous way. And you know what happened? Hold on, don't cut me off. You said you wouldn't.
A cis boy. It was not a trans woman. All y'all do
I don't
is go
think
back to cis boys. You're always talking about cis boys.
he was wearing-
I don't understand
he was
the
wearing-
fascination
he-
with trans bodies and what's happening in the bathroom. It is mostly happening
I think
from
you're
white,
filibustering
cis
because you
men.
don't want me to tell you what happened in the bathroom.
Filibuster who?
Me. I think you're
Oh,
filibustering
child,
me.
no.
I think that you're
No.
distracting from the fact that a boy wearing a skirt in a girl's
A
bathroom raped a
boy,
girl.
but not a trans woman.
Well, there's no such thing as a trans woman.
Oh, yes,
so
it is.
that's
You're looking at one right now.
I'm looking
You're
at.
Bro, I'm gonna let you know right now. You're just shouting. That's all you're doing. You're just making sounds real loud. And this is why I can't stand you, my brother. I can't stand you because do you know if it was a boy wearing a dress and he went in the bathroom, he is technically the exact same thing as you, just younger. The exact same thing. Because what else are you doing? Y'all the exact same thing, but you, because the boy did something outrageous, now you want to push him off? No. You and that boy is the same thing. It's just, you gotta take one. You gotta take one for the team. There you go. You're gonna try to push that boy off. How dare you?
looking at me
I'm
right
looking
now
at
with lived experience.
I'm looking
with
at a-
lived experience. You are looking at a trans woman who has been transitioning for over 20 years, who
Yeah.
has lived experience.
Yes,
You're
but-
talking to
but
an
your
activist here.
but your
You're
identity
talking to a
is not
debater here.
grounded
You're
in
talking to somebody
reality.
that's extreme. Oh, I am
I'm
reality.
not really talking
In
to
your
anyone, 'cause you
head,
keep
I'm not.
talking over
in
me.
your head, I'm not, but I am in reality.
Yeah.
I'm here in front of you right now talking to you.
You're confused about your identity.
No, you are confused
I'm not
at the fact that you don't really have any talking points right now because I'm
Then why aren't you letting me speak?
You really don't.
If I have nothing to say,
Take me
why
on
aren't you
your
letting
show.
me speak?
Put me on your show. How about that?
Then it would become your
How about
show, I
that?
think.
Oh, yeah, I should have a show. I should have a show.
In
But go ahead.
2018, there were 2 in bathrooms, and one in Wisconsin, one in Georgia.
From men,
also
cis
because
men,
of the
say it.
transgender identity.
But say it, cis men.
If
cis men.
you're going to describe a boy who wears a skirt and goes into a girl's
No,
bathroom
you
as
are.
a cis man, no, I didn't.
No, you are. This is the example that you run to. Past that, you have nothing.
I've just given you 3
have
examples.
nothing.
I've given you 3
You have
examples in
nothing.
recent years.
You don't. You've
Well,
been
that's
struggling
news
this entire
to me.
time.
Have I?
Yeah, you have.
I think
And love it.
the trans lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Bye. Goodbye.
Perhaps I'll see you on my show.
Yes, invite me.
Yeah.
Get my email. Tell your people to get my email address. How about that?
Jesus. I don't care what anybody say. I count that as a rage quit. Mentally, that was rage quit. I can't believe that was happening. He just said both people identified as you did that, and now you're on that. You just throwing them away. You can't do that. That's like black people saying Uncle Ruckus ain't black. Yes, he is. That was wild. I find that insulting. I would have told my team to get your number, and I would have sent you a big old F you right to your front door. You cheated.
Hello.
Hello.
You cheated.
So I think I want to start off by asking you.
Whoa. I can't tell if you a brother or a sister right now. I'm not wrong, right? I kind of can't tell. But like either way, it looks bad. YouTube, I'm sorry.
Are you a brother or a sister?
What your solution is to, like, the word eradicating. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that?
Well, the word literally means to pull up by the root. So not just to have some half measure where you say, okay, we're only going to trans kids after the age of 9, but not under the age of 9. Okay, we're only going to let men who identify as women go into this bathroom, but not that sports team or whatever. I don't think a half measure makes any sense. In fact, I think a lot of the conservative arguments.
You're not answering my question. What's the solution?
Oh, it means to uproot it.
So how do you do that? I want to know how you're going to uproot an entire percentage of people.
I'm not uprooting people. I would return American public law to what it was before roughly 2015.
I don't understand the perspective of how you or the Conservative Party is going to make any sort of progress in eradicating an entire percentage. I think it's just
we're not eradicating people. You're trying to say that because it makes us look crazy.
That's what you're saying.
No, I said I want to eradicate a whole ideology of transgenderism.
Trans people. That is going to be people that you are taking.
Like if I want to eradicate poverty, that doesn't mean I want to kill all the poor people.
I'm not saying that you want to. I'm asking you what your plan, like what in the best case scenario, how are you going to get people to stop being trans?
I think we're going to tell boys that they're not girls.
So we're going to tell boys that they're not girls and they're going to listen.
Yeah, basically.
Really?
Yeah, that's what we've done for most of history.
That happened to me, and I can promise you to God that I didn't listen.
Yeah, well, because we live at a time that is affirming the transgender delusion. But if we lived at a more sensible time, probably you would have listened, and you might have had some. And I think we should just return to a more sensible kind of politics.
But what is yours? You're not giving a solution on how you would even be capable of doing something.
Yeah, I think I am. I think we kick the fellas out of the boys' bathroom. We kick the transgender teaching out of schools.
Now listen here, Pat. Okay, I'm getting sick and tired of you. Stop asking a question, and then when he answers it, then you say, "How are you gonna do that?" Like, why are you acting like this whole thing about you putting on a wig and pretending you something else? Why you like this ain't new? I forgot who said it. It was somebody that I watched the video and they said it was the realest thing I ever heard. They said, "Do you know just a little while ago in high school?" I was like, I don't even say a little while ago. Let's just say just like 8 years or like 10 years ago. 10 years ago, the amount of dudes with wigs, it was. Where were they? Now you see them everywhere. How did that happen? It seemed like they told you good things can happen if you do it. You know how many people? It's just appearing. It's just showing up out of nowhere. Once they said, yeah, we're cool with dudes with wigs. We're cool with them. So you know what? You do it. And then everybody in the background like, oh, if you're cool with it, I guess I'll do it. Especially if I get stuff from it. I have seen guys become dudes with wigs just so they can get women who want to be guys. Let that sit. I have seen that. It blew my mind.
We just enforce the law as it was before 2015.
There was a law prohibiting trans women to go into the women's bathroom or trans men going into the men's bathroom.
Yeah, it's there in the term women's bathroom.
That's a law.
That's why men can't go in.
That's a law.
Yeah. Yes, there are all sorts of laws against public indecency, for one, against men going into women's sports leagues. There are all sorts of regulations against that, or at least there were until recently. We did not have established in public life transgenderism until very, very recently.
That's not true.
That's
not true. What about the two-spirited people?
What is the two-spirited people?
In the indigenous community, they are, I don't want to get into semantics, but I know that the fact is that there has always been trans people.
Do you know where the phrase two-spirited came from?
I don't. Please enlighten me.
It came from the third annual Intertribal Native American First Nations Gay and Lesbian Americans Conference in 1990. And the woman who coined that term...
I just don't think that that's true.
It's true. The woman who coined that term admitted...
Again,
hold on. Let me just finish my point on this. The woman who coined that term, Maya Laramie, admitted somewhat recently that the term two-spirit came to her in a dream in 1990. Now, the Ojibwe Nation actually has translated this term. It's the Niche Mani Duwag, but they translated it from the English in 1990.
How you're capable of eradicating an entire percentage of people by setting laws, because...
Why you keep saying people? Listen here, Pat. If you get rid of the ideology, like you set barriers against the ideology, it will squeeze them out. The children won't be told to do this thing. The children won't look to do this thing. So this thing will become extremely limited unless people like you, Pat, just run around trying to tell children this. But then guess what? You'll go to jail. You know you don't have to actually harm people to eradicate them, right? You don't have to do that. I think the Tasmanian people, they did that too. Like, there was no harm. Guess what they did? Just kept sleeping with them until the race was gone. Just keep doing it until they're gone. Guess what? We won't tell them about you. It will make it a law for you not to speak about this thing until you're gone. That's all.
You're not. I think you're choosing not to hear what I'm saying, because I'm saying we don't want to eradicate any people.
We
want to eradicate.
eradicate in prompt.
But the other word is transgenderism, which is an ideology, not a group of people.
I am a transgender person. You can't just
you are
skip
a
over
confused
that fact.
person, but
I'm
you're not,
babe. I'm so secure in myself, and there's other women in this room that are also trans, have been trans for 20 plus years.
Well, you're not that. You're not that W word you just said.
7 years, babe, that know exactly what they're doing.
You're confused because it's not possible for a man to become a
looking at
woman.
somebody without knowing their bodily autonomy, knowing anything that's going on with their medical
Bodily
history,
autonomy?
anything,
because I know
you know nothing
I know
about
the
me.
basics of human nature.
You know nothing about me.
I knew that other one was bro, and you might be a extremely, like, I mean crazy extreme ugly woman, or you're bro as well. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. That's all it is.
know that you're a human.
True.
And I know a little bit about human nature. And I know that a boy
you.
can't become a girl. So that's what I
Does
know.
anybody want to take over?
You're tapping out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a rage quit too. Big screen. 2 rage quits. One was mentally and one was physically. That's crazy. How do you come up there with no argument, with nothing, and keep saying, I am this thing? No, you're not. And I got the stuff to prove you're not this thing. But I am this thing. Me. It's like arguing with a baby about how he's not Superman. And you're afraid because if he tries to prove to you he's Superman, he's going to jump off a building and say he's gonna fly. Yeah! It's the scariest thing ever. You know who I blame? I blame Bill Clinton. That's who I blame. I blame Bill. I blame Bush. And I blame Obama. Boom, I said it. I blame him, especially Obama. What do you say about this? That was wild. That was wild. There was no arguments. It was just nothing but rage quitting and raging and crack. That's all it was. I need somebody to tell me what that was. That was Pat. What was that, brother or sister? That was the last person though. I really need to know.
Oh, you didn't know what that was? Oh, that doo-doo, baby.